when you're in the car.
When you're driving.
When you're driving.
When you're driving.
You have to present your ID.
Yeah,
if
when
you
you're
don't
driving.
Have your ID, that's fine, but you got to give them a name. For our safety, we ask for ID. Now you're obligated by the state to do that. Okay.
I'm gonna have my supervisor talk to you.
Thank you.
You can stop recording me.
I'm not going
because
to.
there's no point in recording me. Okay? They're arguing that.
You are.
Okay, but when
you're saying I can't do it.
When you're displaying signs of mutilated bodies for traffic to come, and you're forcing them to look at that while they're stopped at.
I do have business here. This right here is my business, and you're a tyrant. You're a tyrant.
It's a very sad attempt. You're not
It is. Oh, really? Exercising my First Amendment right?
Disrupting people's normal business.
So
People trying to come in.
So you're telling me that
in the land of the free, what happens when silence becomes your final line of defense? A quiet passenger refuses to ID during a traffic stop, and suddenly a routine pullover turns into a constitutional standoff. As tensions rise, the officers demand compliance, invoking laws the passenger calmly challenges. This isn't just about an ID, it's about power.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Whatever the traffic stop was, it doesn't really matter. I'm not here for that, obviously.
Just in case I started recording, because
that's fine.
If anything, if I need it for court or anything.
You can record all you want, no problem. You're obligated when you're in a motor vehicle to present your ID.
When you're driving?
When you're in the motor vehicle, yes, like right now.
Can I see what law is that?
I don't have the law book on me. I know the law. That's.
So if you know it, how come?
If you weren't in the car and you parked in a parking lot, no. But as far as the motor vehicle being operated, yes.
Right. So get the law for me. Give me what law it is, and then.
The law for you.
You're a police officer. Just look to know all the laws and.
Let me talk to you. Step out of the car for me.
I'm not stepping out of the car.
What's that?
I'm not stepping out of the car for my safety.
For your safety?
For my safety.
What do you think? We're going to beat you up?
No, but once you tell somebody to step out of the car, it's either they're being arrested, you're going to take them in for questioning or something like that. Okay. If I'm not going to be...
Listen.
I'd rather stay here where this is recording in case something happens.
Mr. Lawyer, okay?
No, I told him I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. But I value my rights. I have rights. I know the Constitution. I know what rights I have.
We do with every single car stop. You give up your rights when you're in the car.
When you're driving.
When you're driving.
When you're driving.
You have to present your ID.
Yeah, when you're driving.
Have your ID, that's fine. But you got to give them a name.
I'm not giving out my name just because. Because you're gonna start. I need your name. I need your date of birth. You're gonna look me up. You're gonna have my address. You're gonna have all the information. Yeah. But what crimes did I commit?
No
one's saying we do it with every single car.
Yep.
As far as you getting out of the car, I know you're thinking you're Joe Attorney.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that.
You're gonna get arrested. You're gonna get arrested.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not.
All right. So when you say I'm being arrested, then we'll take it from there.
Why would I say that? Why would I say you're being arrested?
I don't know.
Sitting in the passenger.
Yeah, because you're asking me for my name, my date of birth.
That's just for our safety. That's why we do that.
Yeah, but why did he get pulled over? Right?
Had him for speeding.
Okay, so that's his problem.
Yeah, but
I'm just getting the ride home.
Listen, but you're in the car, okay?
Yeah, but I didn't commit a crime. I didn't speed.
We're not saying that you did. We identify everyone in the car.
You're not
every single car stop.
I am listening.
Okay. When you get out of the car, okay, we don't just arrest people to get out of the car. We just don't tell you to get out. It's for the heck of it, okay? For our safety, we ask for ID. Now, you're obligated by the state to do that, okay?
Do you see anybody shooting? Do you see anybody with a bazooka?
No, I'm not here to be a debate. That's for court, okay?
All right, so whatever you got to do, but I'm not giving up my rights. I'm not giving up my rights. And I know that's not a law. Once you tell me the law, what number it is, everything, we're going to look it up, stuff like that.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Hey, can you hop off just for a minute? What you want to talk to you about?
Yeah, I want to stay with the camera recording because I don't know, I don't want to be...
Feel free to bring the camera with you.
I don't want to carry that and have it in your face, Okay.
But, then
I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to take you guys away from doing your job and stuff. But they say that when you have rights, either you use them or you lose them,
You're not disrespectful, okay? But you are breaking the law.
I am?
Okay. The United States Supreme Court says we have every right to take you out of this car while we conduct a traffic stop.
Even when I'm not being arrested, I'm still driving, I don't have any probable cause, just with my friend, because he already got a ticket, he's late for, he's giving me a ride, as a courtesy, for me, because my car broke down. I'll give you my ID, all right? Because I've been here for 31 years in this country, never been arrested, don't have any kind of
I'm not arguing any of that.
I don't have any records. Everything's clean, you know.
Do we have his ID?
Yeah, I'll give it to him now, just for my friend. For his, if it was me, I'll be here till 5 in the morning. I don't have it. Yeah, I'll just give it to you. So I'm gonna read for my ID, all right?
You go right ahead.
Just for my friend.
Yep.
I'll give up my rights for my friend.
Well, it has nothing to do with rights, my friend.
All right, here you go. You're not gonna find anything. I just wanna, you know, we have the rights. If you don't use it, you lose it. And that's where it's going in this country already.
You do have rights, and I understand that. I'm well versed in the Constitution.
Yeah, I follow.
You do have rights.
Yeah, I try to follow all the laws. I try to learn everything, you know.
But you do have to identify yourself.
They say if you're being arrested, there's probable cause, or you're being a danger, you know.
Yeah, I know who you are as the passenger if you don't tell us. So.
Yeah, but I wasn't driving. I didn't commit any crime. There's no probable cause that I'm going to commit a crime. You didn't catch me in the act of committing a crime.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know who you are.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying too.
I do.
You know.
Do. However, just so you know, in the future, you do have to provide.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna call the chief of police and ask him, you know, just to make sure. Because if it is, and I'm wrong, the next time, you know, I know better. You know.
Well, the Attorney General's office, they can really tell you. Just tell them the situation. I was a passenger in a car. I was asked to provide my ID, and they'll let you know that is the case.
Okay, I want to find that out because I try to keep up with all the laws, and that's a new law, and I don't know about it. I want to find out.
Power.
Yeah, I just wrote that today on Facebook. I said knowledge is power. Same thing like that.
Yep, absolutely.
I said read and learn. I try to always keep up with all the laws, the new laws, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, you know, everything.
Why not?
Just so,
you know?
Yep. I've been here for 31 years, never been arrested, never been in trouble with the police, never been in any kind of trouble, ever.
You ever been stopped and asked for your ID when you were a passenger?
Well, no, never.
Never, huh?
They just because I have 2 cars, but they both broke down, so you know, so they can give me a right for work.
The reason why we do that is obviously to check anybody see they have warrants or whatever. We don't know who the passenger is, the car.
Yeah, but you see what the problem with that is? You cannot just go around stopping everybody asking for IDs like Nazi Germany. You know what I mean?
Vehicles legally stopped though for traffic violations.
Okay. Now, because you know how it is nowadays.
We don't just accost people on the street and ask them for their identification.
Yeah, but that's where it's going.
Yep.
In New York.
Listen, we're not in New York.
It's already like that.
We're not in New York. We're in Rhode Island. Okay? And the courts say if you are stopped by the police for a legal reason, which this was a legal reason, you committed a traffic violation of some sort, we have the right to identify any passengers in the motor vehicle.
Yeah, but you know that in New York they didn't have that law before.
We're not in New York.
I mean, but they didn't have it there. Just like they don't have it here, it might go there. If you don't use our rights, if you don't flex your rights, that's where it's going to go right there, Nazi Germany.
That's when you notify your state rep and you...
Now, pretty soon I'll be going down the street, walking around. Papers, please, papers.
No, that's
where it's going. I mean, I'm sad to say about this, where it's going in this country. Man, when I was here, back when I first came in here, back in the 80s, the 90s, it was lovely to, here, but the way it's going now, I don't know if that was after 9/11 or what happened, but I just can't do anything anymore without having your papers, And I don't have anything too high or anything, but...
I'm not saying that you do.
No, I don't know, but it seems like that. When you want to give out your name and ID, it seems like, there's all these red flags. What is he hiding?
You're one person. This case that this side was talking about came from a state trooper asking for identification from a bus full of people. And the Supreme Court found that it was warranted. And they can ask for identification. So
even all those innocent people that were just there along for the ride, they have to go through all this hassle, give out the names, the date of birth, the social security, just because somebody else did something? We all have to pay for it? I mean, does that seem right? Now, if you're looking for a person driving the same type of car that was being looked for like a crime he committed, it was driving a car that's similar to this one, a red Civic, we're looking for that type of car, there's a wanted, and then you stop him for a car, then they go, all right, we stop somebody driving that same, I'm looking for somebody that's driving the same type of car, he's being looked for, he committed a crime, all right, I will understand that, but asking me all this because he was speeding, I mean, it doesn't go together, it makes no sense.
The courts have said that we can.
All right. Now I'm just gonna, look that up. I'm not saying that you're lying, but I want to make sure for myself.
I'm gonna lie to you.
Okay.
Like I said, no benefit to me. Probably the Attorney General's office.
Yeah, I'm gonna find that out because.
You can Google search it.
No, I don't trust Google. I go straight for the source. You can't believe anything you read online. There's too many.
If you go on the Rhode Island,
too many, like he says, too many lawyers online. They think they know everything, and then they tell you something that's not even true.
On the Rhode Island State website, you can look up all the Rhode Island general law.
Okay. Yeah, I have the phone number for the.
If you do a search on there of obstruction of justice, the entire definition of the statute will come up.
All right.
You'll see that.
And it's going to say if you're a passenger on a car and you can ask for the ID.
It won't be that specific.
You see?
That comes
I want to see where it says that.
comes from case law.
I want to see where it says that. It's not where if you get stopped, your passenger must, by law, give out his name and everything, or go straight to jail. I want to see that.
Okay, well, can you want to roll down your window?
Yeah, he's all set.
Yeah, he's all set. Thanks, sir.
Have a good day, sir.
All right, man. Take care. Right.
When you're a passenger, knowing your rights isn't a luxury, it's a shield. This man's refusal to ID was more than defiance. It was a statement that freedom doesn't come with conditions. But as officers stretch the law to fit their authority, it's clear. If we don't stand firm on our rights, we may lose them one silent ID demand at a time. To speak freely, it's shocking how often that freedom is misunderstood, especially by those sworn to protect it. In this encounter, a peaceful protester holds graphic signs on a public sidewalk, only to be told by a police officer that his message isn't protected under the First Amendment. What follows is a disturbing display of ignorance, deflection, and a stunning denial of constitutional rights.
So you of course absolutely have the right to your freedom of speech, but the display of the dismembered babies and stuff like that is not a freedom of speech, and it's
actually it is, sir.
We got a cause on it. So
well, it actually is freedom of speech protected by the Constitution.
No, that's not gonna fly.
Well,
I'm telling you this right now, it's not gonna fly.
The Constitution protects it, sir.
Not display of dismembered bodies of anything like that. Because you're forcing motorists to see something they don't want to see.
That's freedom of speech, sir.
No, that's not freedom of speech.
Actually, it is.
No, it's not. I'm telling you this right now, it's not. Okay, when we have people calling because you're disturbing their peace, you're disturbing the peace. So
that's the First Amendment, sir.
You can't. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to fly.
It will. Can you guys speak with your supervisor?
Yeah, I can get him out here. But the display of these dismembered babies is not going to fly.
Yes, I need to speak with your supervisor.
Yeah.
Well, what's your name, officer?
That's Officer Gulino. Yeah.
Gulino.
Yeah.
May I have a card?
Yeah. Card? I don't have business cards.
What's your badge number?
8109 from 122. 109. This guy wants to talk to your supervisor.
Your badge number is 122.
Yeah. I'm gonna have my supervisor come on and talk to you too.
Okay.
So when you well, the freedom of speech thing is up for debate, but when you're forcing motorists, to observe that, I'm going to stop talking to you as long as you're recording me, okay?
Yes.
I'll continue the conversation with you when you put the phone away.
I'm not going to do that, sir.
Okay.
Because right now you are violating my First Amendment.
Okay, that's fine.
That's why I need to record you.
I'm going to have my supervisor come on and talk to you. Okay?
I think you're actually, I've been doing this for 3 years.
Yeah.
I travel all over the country.
Sure.
You are the first officer who's ever told me that.
Well, you're disturbing the peace when you're forcing motorists to observe your
I have the First Amendment protects my right to disturb people's peace with these signs. Every officer I've ever talked to has never given me a problem over that. They've never said what you said. That's why I'm asking for your supervisor, because respectfully, sir, you don't know the law. I do. I've studied this. The First Amendment protects my right to do this. The Constitution, men fought and bled and died for my right to do this.
I'm going to have my supervisor come and talk to you, because we already got a call about your signs.
Well, yeah, but the First Amendment protects my right so that people can't say, well, I don't like that, so I can't do it anymore. Then what's the point of the First Amendment?
That's not the argument here. If we're getting calls on you with your signs, then we have to take action, okay?
Not against me.
Yeah.
No, if people are disturbed, their being disturbed does not supersede the First Amendment. That's why the First Amendment exists. So that when someone's offended or disturbed, then the person displaying whatever message it is or saying what they're saying, they're protected. That's why we have this country.
I'm going to have my supervisor talk to you.
Okay, thank
you. You can stop recording.
I'm not going to.
Because there's no point in recording me. Okay?
There is, as long as I'm talking to you.
You're being recorded right now too. So,
I'm really surprised you're saying that, officer.
Yeah.
That's sad.
What's that?
That's really sad that you would not know the First Amendment or not enforce it.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
That's your opinion.
No, I'm just giving you the First Amendment.
That's your opinion.
The right to speak your mind.
No, I'm not arguing that.
You are.
Okay, but when
You're saying I can't do it.
When you're displaying signs of mutilated bodies for traffic to come, and you're forcing them to look at that while they're stopped at a red light, then that's an issue.
No, not according to the First Amendment, not according to the Constitution. Like I said, you're the first and only officer in 3 years I've been doing this that's ever given me a problem over that. That should tell you something.
I'm not giving you a problem. I'm telling you got a call about your signs.
No, well, that's one thing. Saying that you got a call, that's one thing. To address the call, to answer the call.
And that's what I said before you started recording me.
No. But to tell me that I can't.
Time out. You started recording me about more than halfway through our initial conversation. So everything in this video is going to be way out of context.
I have it on my body cam too.
Absolutely way out of context.
I have it on my body cam too.
Okay.
Well, I do that because I never know if an officer is going to give me a hard time or violate my First Amendment right, my constitutional rights.
I'm not violating your rights.
You are. You're telling me I can't do this.
Listen, I'm explaining to you what's going on. Okay?
You're telling me I can't do this.
My supervisor is going to come over here and probably tell you the same.
Well, if you're telling me I can't do this, that is violating my First Amendment rights.
Somebody called because of these signs. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, it is a freedom of speech. Right. You really can't stop him from doing it. No, he has a First Amendment right.
Here's the supervisor.
Yeah. You can't stop him. First Amendment. We had this type of stuff before back on 25th. You can't really stop him from holding his First Amendment right at all. Right.
Hello, morning.
Falcon?
Oh, I just asked for a supervisor because the officer, your thing is blocking your name.
Officer Galino.
Gali?
Yeah.
This officer is telling me I cannot have these signs out here, which violates my First Amendment rights. So I asked for a supervisor who would correct him.
Okay, I'm the supervisor.
Yes, sir.
You're allowed to have signs out here.
Yes, sir.
You're allowed to talk and do what you need to do as long as you don't disturb the peace of Starbucks or the people at Starbucks or at these stores, stuff like that. And as long as you don't impose or obstruct anybody walking on this sidewalk,
yes,
you're allowed to say and do what you need to do.
This video is a powerful reminder that knowing your rights isn't just helpful, it's necessary. When an officer tries to redefine free speech based on personal discomfort, the Constitution becomes a negotiation instead of a guarantee. Don't just trust authority, question it, record it, and know the law better than they do. That's how we keep the First Amendment alive. What happens when public employees forget who they work for? In this shocking audit at Lebanon City Hall, one man with a camera walks into a public building to ask simple questions, and what follows is a wave of defiance, hostility, and ultimately, a threat to his liberty. Windows slam shut, rights are ignored, and the very people sworn to serve the public turn their backs. But the real question is, will accountability ever catch up?
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Sergeant Drum with LAPD, just my camera's on right now.
Yeah,
Do you
me
mind if
too.
I just talk to you for a minute so I don't interrupt their work?
Well, yeah, sure. I don't want to bother anybody. I haven't been.
Appreciate that.
Can I have your name and badge, please?
I just told you, I'm Sergeant Jerome. The
Jerome?
one and only.
All right. Nice to meet you.
What brings you here today?
Just doing a little filming around the building, doing a documentary for public interest.
For public
And,
interest of
yep.
what?
Just what they do for the public, what services they provide for the public.
Like City Hall?
Yep, City Hall, yep. It's all for public interest. It's on YouTube for people who can't get out of their house to see what the services they provide. If their public is open, the building is open to the public.
Okay.
And I put in a public records request. And they've denied business and services all over.
All over?
Yeah, I've been very cordial, very respectful. Okay. I'm not here to interrupt business or anybody. I'm not filming, just literally coming in, asking what their name is, the position, and what they do for the public.
Okay.
That's
so,
it.
Fortunately for us, we have a really up-to-date website that also offers services during COVID.
Yep.
To allow people access to things that they normally get in person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that you could recommend to your viewers?
Yep, and I have. I know they have a lot of websites up right now for online.
Yep.
A lot of people don't have online, so they want to see if it's open to the public, what services they're providing, and there's just not a lot of clarity on that with the with the employees here. It's very unprofessional.
Well, I guess I'm kind of confused. So it sounds like you're
3
trying to
officers,
provide
huh?
a hands-on kind of like informative type of video. You came
It is,
here.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my right to be in this public building.
Yes.
And I'm not
up
disturbing
into
anybody.
Up until a point where they ask you to leave, that type of thing, which we're not there yet, but we're trying to figure out, why you're here if you still got the information that you came
I haven't, actually. I've asked, they've closed all their windows. I've asked them several times, very politely. I'm not pushing them. They don't have to answer my questions if they don't want to.
Yep.
But they should.
If they're not willing to, though, I mean, out of respect, is there any reason why you're remaining?
Yeah, I'm not done with my story. I'm
Okay,
still
but
doing
they
a tour of the
don't have
building.
to interview for you.
That's fine. I'm not asking for an interview. I'm just asking for simple, basic questions to do with the public and what they do.
It sounds like they're not willing to answer those questions. So is there any reason why you're still here? I mean, it
Because
sounds
I could be here, that's why.
up until
And they don't
ask you to
feel,
leave.
no, that's
So
not
they're allowed
correct.
to trespass you.
No, you are not. This is a public building, and I have not committed a crime.
But
And until then, that is a violation of my
But
rights.
you're not here for a valid reason.
I am here for my First Amendment right to film in public. This is a public building,
So
and I cannot be trespassed.
was it your intent to come here and cause a disturbance?
I am not causing a disturbance.
Okay, but at this point, they're not willing to interview with you.
That's okay. I'm not here to speak with anybody else. I'm done with what I was doing, and
But you just want to record them now.
I could do that in a silent manner. Yeah, I'm not.
Is that what your intention was to begin with, though?
I will leave when you leave.
Okay. Okay.
And can I have your name and badge number, please?
Yeah.
Oh, wrong one. Here you go.
Am I being detained?
No.
So I'm free to go?
Yeah.
So I'm free to stay also, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Brandon, right?
Yep.
How you doing,
Officer
bud?
Coleman, Brandon, whatever you want.
Okay. Can I have your badge number?
Yes, 35.
35. Thank you,
How you
sir.
doing today?
I'm good.
What's your YouTube channel called?
You could look
Just
up
out of
on
curiosity, yeah.
Press NH now.
Press NH now?
Yep.
Nice.
I'm just here for a documentary of the building. Just asking them what they do for the public, their name, and the services they provide.
Okay. Do you go around to the different cities in New Hampshire?
Yeah. Yeah, I go to different city halls, town halls, just different public buildings, doing public interest during COVID, because a lot of people don't want to come out right now.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you.
So, but she's trying to trespass me from a public building, and that's illegal.
Okay.
So.
Hi. Do you mind if I step back? No. Okay. Where's the new door?
Did I get your name badge, sir?
Officer Hughes, 31.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Can we get your name, sir?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
I'm all set. You work for the public?
You said press NH?
Yes. Yeah, I'm not gonna badger them about answering simple questions. If they don't want to answer questions, they're gonna make themselves look bad, not me. But 3 officers for constitutionally protected right in a public building, and then try to trespass me from it. That's there's a lot of legalities behind that. I will pursue with my lawyer if I am trespassed from this property. The deprivation of rights. Are you lawfully asking me to leave the building?
Nope.
Okay. I'm not being detained, so. Free to go, free to stay.
Yeah, but I thought you said you would leave.
As soon as you guys leave, yeah, of course I'll leave. I have no problem with that. I'm just finishing up my documentary, and you guys showed up, and here we are. Yeah, just because they don't feel comfortable with me filming in a public space doesn't give you the right to trespass me from a public building.
Oh, that'll be great, yeah. Okay.
How you doing, sir? Good. Could be better. So 3 police officers and a sergeant called for a constitutionally protected right. They're trying to trespass me from the building. Hey everybody, we are live now over at City Hall in Lebanon. The police have been called. 3 police officers here now trying to trespass me from a public building.
That's like the second best.
4 people in the building. What's going on? 7 people. 3 officers, sergeant trying to trespass me from a public building. They've closed all their windows, as you see. As you see, they're closing the windows.
I have a lot of big pranks.
15 people, come on in, guys. Yes, they are. They're not upholding their oath to the Constitution.
Right, so here's what I've done for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't address you by your name because you won't give it to me.
I don't need to, ma'am.
Well,
I have
as a
nothing to
courtesy,
hide.
I'd like to address you by your first name.
I agree. It's good citizen.
Okay, so I've spoken with Paula here. She
Paula.
said she's willing to answer a couple of your questions.
Yeah.
But at that point, once you're done, we'd ask that.
Well, no, I'm all done speaking with them. They've already.
Okay, if you don't have any questions for them, then there's really no point for you to be here. If you don't have
Yeah,
any.
and I spoke with you that I told you that I would leave when you leave.
Okay, so if you don't have any city business here, then they're asking that you leave.
So are you trespassing me from the building?
Listen, I'm not trespassing you.
Then
If you do not have any city business here,
Ma'am,
and you do not leave, you
I am
will get arrested.
So you're threatening me with arrest?
I am telling you that they have asked for you to leave.
Okay.
There is a violation of residents' privacy here. By
No, there's no
recording them
expectation of
during
privacy in public.
During the request for vital records.
There is no expectation of privacy in public. I am in a public setting. And if you are going to threaten me with arrest, then I will leave and I will
It's not a
take it up
threat.
with the courts.
I'm giving you the opportunity to respect their request for you to
Ma'am,
leave.
you need to
There's
respect
no
my
reason
rights.
for you to be
No,
here.
you need to respect my rights. So are you
You're-
threatening to arrest me?
But what is the point in you being here right now?
This right here.
You told me you
Because
had-
I have every right to be here, ma'am. This is my right to be
You told
here.
me you came here because your viewers
But-
had questions.
Yep, and they have not answered
She's
them.
offered to answer your questions.
I don't
and
need any
you're
more
being
answers.
Stubborn and you don't want her to answer your questions.
I don't know.
So
The people
you
that...
have no right to be here at that point.
Ma'am, I could stay here all day if I want to.
Well, you're gonna.
As long as I'm not disturbing the peace.
You are disturbing.
Well, then I will sit back quietly and not disturb anybody. So would you like me to leave?
I'm going to offer you again. You have the option of leaving right now. They've
Okay.
asked that you leave because you have no business here with
So
the
you're
city.
threatening me with arrest if I don't
You
leave?
have no questions for them.
Okay.
You have no business here.
Okay.
So is this your chance at, YouTube stardom? Is that what you're intending?
No, ma'am, I'm here for public
No,
interest.
you're here because you're intentionally trying to instigate something.
Then you know what, ma'am?
And
Then
you
maybe
look
you should
silly.
uphold your
look
oath to the
silly.
Constitution.
I am.
No, you're not.
You're
These are my rights,
just
and you're
normal
violating my
people
rights right
and
now by
your normal business.
you're trespassing me from a public building, ma'am, for absolutely no crime. So I will leave.
He's under arrest.
I will leave. No, I'm saying
Then get out.
I will leave right now. I will leave. I told you under the threat of arrest, I will leave. I never said I wouldn't leave, as long as it was a lawful request.
Now get out.
All right, so that's Lebanon police, guys. Trespassing me off of public property for no crime being committed. Yep, and you guys are making your department look great.
You're not even contributing.
Ma'am, you don't even know my business here prior to you being
You
here.
have no business here.
I do have business
Your
here.
attempt is to try and obtain
This
viewers.
right here is my business, and you're a tyrant.
Very sad
You're a
attempt.
tyrant.
It's a very sad attempt. You're not
It is. Oh, really? Exercising my First Amendment right?
Disrupting people's normal business.
So
People trying to come in.
So you're telling me that exercising my First Amendment right to film in public is illegal?
It's quite sad, actually.
Is it really? Oh, so the Constitution is
What
sad.
you're doing.
Really? The Constitution is sad? Really?
Yeah, no.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm exercising my rights to film here. I'd like to call for service number, please, and your lieutenant.
Well, good luck with that. You can go to the police department if you want.
So now you're not going to give me a public
You're
record?
gonna identify yourself?
I don't need to, ma'am. I haven't committed a crime. Do you not know the rights? Do you not respect people's rights? You don't respect people's laws, the laws and the Constitution and the rights? That's why I'm here, ma'am.
Hear yourself.
I'm here to exercise my...
Sad.
I sound sad, huh? Everybody's rights being violated every single day on a simple camera.
Are being violated.
Yes, they are. You just trespassed me from a public building.
Because you're too free.
Then you know what? You will hear from my lawyer. You will hear from my lawyer, and I will be filing a lawsuit against the Lebanon Police Department.
For what?
Because you trespassed me from a public building.
I never
It doesn't matter. They're not a private business. This is not your property. This is our property.
never said trespass. Those are your words.
Okay, so if I go back in there, will you arrest me? Will you arrest me if I go back in that building?
I didn't say it was for trespass.
What is it for?
You'll be arrested if you go back in there without city business.
So I need to make a public record request again.
Brandon.
Escort me in there. Yeah, watch me. I'm watching you too.
Bye. Have a nice day, sir.
Take me back in there. I need to make a public records request. Sir, I need business in there. I have business inside of that department. So now they're... Dude, seriously, it's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy. Peace? Really? Huh. You're funny. I'll be filing complaints on all of you. Take me back in there so I can make a public record request. That's my business. Crazy, guys. I'm trying to hold on to these comments, but I can't see them right now. So now they're refusing business and service. Hit them up. Hit them up, guys. Breaking the floor. What's good, bro? What's good, man? Hit that number up. Let them know what's up. Hit up the PD, too. Telling me that they're not going to get me for trespassing, even though I wasn't disturbing the peace. I was making a public record. This is insanity, guys. And you wonder why I'm here, huh? It's all good, bro. I'm not afraid, man. I appreciate the support. 38 people. Morning, Hawk Al. Looking at these comments. Milwaukee, what's up? No mask, huh? Following Nazi orders is right. So they're trying to trespass me from a public building for video recording, exercising my First Amendment right. I'm over in Lebanon. K-9 unit. They don't want to escort me back in and make another public record, since that is my business. I need to make another public records request in that building. Are you refusing? Can I walk back in there? I cannot walk back in there, so I'm trespassed? So now they're telling me I can't go back in the building to make a public records request. You better call your lieutenant before you make a big mistake. I will be following up with my lawyer on this. You said trespass. Remember that. Tyrant. You're a tyrant. Sergeant, from the top down. Tyrant. Making your whole police department look bad right now. YouTube star, that's you, ma'am. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I do it. The only reason I do it. And I don't really care if they know who I am. I got nothing to hide. But they do. Call your lieutenant. I'm requesting your supervisor. Are you failing to request your supervisor? So what do you think, guys? Should I go back in there?
When asking questions becomes a crime and recording in public is met with trespass threats, we must ask, who is really disturbing the peace? This audit reveals more than just unprofessional behavior. It exposes a culture of secrecy and fear of transparency. Let this be a reminder. Rights not defended are rights lost, and every silent window is a symbol of a system that fears being seen.